So thank you so much for joining me on this training today. I really am so excited to get started and diving into it. And this is honestly the simplest way for coaches and consultants to consistently earn six figures and beyond. And if you stay with me, you're going to learn my unique three-part framework to create your course on autopilot and sell it on autopilot every single day without the feast or famine roller coaster of live launching. Anybody got to have that? So now, if you have been on any of my trainings before, or if you've listened to my podcast, you will know that I really do not like fluff. It really irritates me. So I like to get straight into the good stuff and really make every second of your time count. But first of all, I just want to highlight that you are not here by accident. Something has pulled you to join me here today, and there is a reason that you are here. And my intention is that by the end of this session, you will know exactly what that reason is, and what I share today is going to give you that missing piece that you've been searching and working so hard for. But I do just want to quickly know why you are here. Are you here because you have a course already and you're struggling to launch it? Are you here because you haven't created a course yet and this is your first time in it? Are you here because you want more clients? Are you here because you're feeling burnt out and you know that you can't keep going like that? Let me know in the chat why you're here and what you most want to get out of our time together today. So I'm going to take a bet that you probably started your business. I'm going to have working on a course now, just starting, more clients, fear to leave current job. That is so common. I know so many people have that fear, and it is a genuine scary time. I have a course but struggling to launch it, new to the digital world. Oh, very, very cool. You are all in the perfect place. This is so exciting. So yeah, I'm going to take a bet. I'm going to bet that you probably started your business for freedom. But the truth is, you thought you would be like sitting on a beach and sipping Mai Tais by now, but you haven't stopped hustling since the day you started, and you're petrified of taking your foot off the gas in case it all falls apart. Let me know if that resonates in the chat. Drop a little number 1 if that resonates. So today, what I'm going to show you is how to create a consistent, predictable income on autopilot so that you can actually start enjoying your coaching business and finally create that freedom lifestyle that you've been working so hard for. And what I'm going to teach you honestly completely changed the game for me. It really did. When I implemented these things that I'm going to teach you, that's when it all clicked into place, and it snapped me out of years of struggle in my business. And if you structure this right, you are going to find that you're working less than ever. You are earning consistently more than ever. You're never going to live launch again unless you really want to. You can actually enjoy your business. You can work with your dream clients and not those clients that drain the life out of you. You can get transformational results for your clients every single time and feel confident in that. And you can finally get that balance that you've been craving and never burn out again. That sounds ideal, right? It's going to be a powerful webinar, I told you. So let me get super clear on who this training is for. So maybe let me know if you relate to any of these. Maybe you're a coach and you're taking clients and you're working really late at night and really early in the morning trying to fit them all in, because that's literally the only time you've got. Maybe you are giving so much to your clients every single day that you are physically and emotionally drained every single night. You are like priority 9 on the priority list. You have no boundaries with your clients. You're completely glued to your phone because you feel that you need to be available 24/7. You know that you can't keep working like this, but you don't want to lose your income. And you've been meaning to create a course for a while, but you just keep putting it off. Let me know if any of those are you. Or maybe you're a course creator already. I see in the chat we've got some who have created courses already. You've already created your course, you've launched it a few times, but your sales have kind of plateaued. It's not really got off the ground like you thought it would have done. You're feeling stuck in this feast or famine mode of live launches, and you're just exhausted. You don't think you've got another live launch in you. You don't want to have to consistently show up on social media platforms all the time and be everywhere all the time in order to drive traffic to your funnels. And you just can't seem to get all the pieces right for your marketing. You're working your ass off and you're like, when is this going to work? When is this actually going to start, getting some traction? But ultimately, this training that I'm going to teach you today, what I'm going to tell you about, is different for so many different professions. So coaches, course creators, consultants, therapists, service providers, authors, speakers, agencies, and network marketers. There are so many people that this can work for. Now, For whatever reason you're here that you explained to me before, I do know this to be true about you. You are over here, you are so passionate about what you do, and you're so excited to help people, and you genuinely want to make an impact on their lives. And you're over here and you're like, hello, I can help you, let me help you. But instead of spending all of your time doing what you love, instead, you're over here spending your time and your energy, and it's all getting swallowed up on this. You're posting on Facebook and Instagram. You're trying to engage your dead Facebook group. You're uploading videos to YouTube. You're dancing on TikTok, even though it makes you feel like an idiot. You are networking and blogging and messaging on all social media platforms until eventually you just literally sit there and do nothing because you're so overwhelmed. You're like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Does that resonate? I feel like that is like literally an insight into my life in the early stages of my business. And the reality is, I hate to break it to you, this is not working. When you don't have any systems in place and you're trying to do all the things all the time, this is what happens in your business. You find yourself on a total revenue roller coaster. So one month you're earning great money, and then you're booking holidays to Barbados, and then the next month you're earning barely anything at all, and you're trying to scrape things back. And you aimlessly go through the year having no real idea of how much you're going to earn, or where your income's coming from, or really what the hell is going on in terms of revenue. And I don't know about you, but this lack of certainty is not good for my nervous system. I just hate that feeling of always chasing a paycheck, or being in a conversation with a client and thinking, please, please, please sign up because I need to pay my bills. That is not a good energy when you're trying to sell your coaching services. It just feels awful. But I also know that this massively shows up in your calendar as well. So you think that in order for you to earn more, you need to be doing more. And so you pack out your days with so much stuff just so that you can feel busy enough to be worthy of the success you're trying to create. Ooh, that's a deep one. I just need to go over that again because I really want that to land. You feel like if your calendar is clear and simple, and you have lots of time to yourself, and you're enjoying yourself, and you get to go for lunch with friends, then you're not going to make money, or you're not worthy of making money. Let me know in the chat if that has hit a nerve with you, because that was like stuck with me for so long. And I'm going to unpack a lot of this because it is simply not true. And that belief is really, really holding you back. Now, almost every single one of my clients come to me with no clear marketing strategy, and they have no idea of how to get their clients results, and they are all experiencing this. I swear this is an actual like sneak peek into my brain in the beginning of my business. One moment you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, I'm so excited. Second moment you're like, oh, this is so hard, I don't want to do this anymore. Then you're like, it's working, this is finally working. Then you're like, damn it, I totally messed up. And then you hit that sacrifice stage where you're like, I'm going all in, I'm giving up everything. And then you're like, oh God, I think I'm going to go bankrupt. I think I need to get a part-time job, and so on and so on and so on. Oh, it is a lot. I'm laughing because for so many years, that was me. I legit thought I was bipolar. I think my partner did as well. And he was like, this is, you are quite unstable. But I know that so many people feel this way. And honestly, I totally get it. I know this feeling painfully well. And this is where it stops for you. I'm so excited to be delivering this to you because I know that if you implement these things I'm going to share, then all of that stops. So what you're about to learn is a predictable way to land new high-paying clients every single day. How to only work with the clients that you like working with, how to charge what you're worth and have your clients happy to pay for it, even if right now you are struggling to charge to sell a $500 course. It does not matter. It is not about that, and we're going to be diving straight deep into that. How to be in control of your business, and how to only work when you want while your business works for you, and how to have a huge impact on your clients and make sure that they see results. You're going to do all that without relying on exhausting and unpredictable live launches to bring in sales, without constantly posting on social media all day and sending out hundreds of cold DMs. Oh my God, I've been there, I've done it, and I feel like a fool. You do not need to do that. And without being glued to your phone or your laptop and never being truly present with those around you. What if there was a way? This is what I was asking myself so much. Like, what if there was actually a way where the less I worked, the more I earned? Like I could see people doing that. And that's what I was on such a mission to figure out for myself. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, first of all, though, I just want to take 60 seconds to share with you a little bit about myself if you don't know me. I'm Carly. I'm a business and marketing super nerd. I really do geek out on all of this stuff. I'm the host of Made for More podcast. I'm the founder of Made for More coaching. I'm mum to these two little squirts here. This is Frankie and Margot. And I'm addicted to any kind of love-based reality TV show like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, anything with love in. I'm just a sucker for love. I just love love. I don't know what to do. And I absolutely love Cocoa Pops as well. They are not nutritious by any means, but I just can't get enough. So I just want to get personal for a second though, and just really share with you where this all came from. So 3 years ago, my partner opened up his own hair salon and he did it with everything that we had. And you can see in this picture, I was heavily pregnant. I actually gave birth to my son 10 days later, so 10 days after we opened. And then almost immediately, the pandemic hit and his salon had to close and he instantly lost his income. And we had a brand new baby to care for. So suddenly, as a brand new mum, it was all down to me to provide for our family. Now, I started to think of how I could create a new income stream without working full-time hours, because I definitely didn't have full-time hours that could support all of us. And most importantly, I had to figure out how I could do it fast. Now, I knew that I had skills that I could help other people with. I knew that there were people that, I could help. And so I decided to partner with a friend of mine and create our first digital course together. 8 weeks later, that course had made $40,000 and I was absolutely hooked. And this is where it all started. I remember making my first sale. I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to my partner. And first of all, I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening. But then I just remember us both breathing that sigh of relief, like, oh my God, okay, we're going to be okay. And I will just never forget that feeling. It just felt incredible. And ever since then, I've just rinsed and repeated that process over and over again. I created a course teaching how to start a podcast, then how to build your audience online. And every day I was seeing these sums of money dropping into my Stripe account from people who had bought my course through my sales system. And I realized that I had created the simplest way of creating an income online that I had ever seen. And believe me, I have tried everything up until this point. I really, really have. Network marketing, affiliate marketing, absolutely everything. And this just made sense. And I also realized it was the fastest way of turning strangers into paying clients and into paying customers. And ever since then, I've been on a mission to share it with as many people as possible. But I do just need to add a little disclaimer here. This did not happen for me overnight. It's taken a lot of trial and error to find the simplest way. And it's so easy to look back at these slides now and be like, oh, it just all happened. It didn't. It's taken such a long time to figure out this simple method that I teach now. And I'm just really excited to help you skip all of that struggle and get straight to the good part. So quickly, I know that this next 20 minutes is honestly going to be a game changer for you. I genuinely believe that. And I really, really want you to stay right until the end so that you can hear all of that. So I'm going to bribe you to stay. So if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a link to download my recurring revenue blueprint. It's literally the entire roadmap for building out this kind of consistent income stream. The whole thing is mapped out for you. So make sure you stay until the end and you will get that. So let's get to it. Here is what we're going to be covering today. So part one, the number one thing you need for consistent income that no one is talking about. Part two, the biggest mistakes coaches and course creators make and why they are more burnt out than ever. And part three, how to turn strangers into paying clients within 24 to 48 hours of them finding you. Oh, I told you it's a juicy one. So let's get down to it. Now, these three parts of my freedom framework is what's going to create that freedom lifestyle that you've been working so hard to create. And our freedom lifestyle is different for so many people, right? So for some people, it's because you want to have the flexibility to travel and get yachts and go all around wherever. For some, it's that you don't want to think twice about rising bills and cost of living and things. For some, it's that you want to get the new, Hermes bag. Whatever it is for you, it's possible with these three elements. So the first part of it is packaging your skills and expertise into a truly irresistible offer. Now, the truth of the matter is an incredible program or incredible course with a crappy offer is never going to sell. But a crappy course with an irresistible offer will always sell over and over again. That's just the sad truth of it. Now, I'm never going to teach you how to sell a crappy course and just package it up in some nice wrapping. I'm not going to ever teach you how to do that. It's just not an integrity to me. But what I do teach is how to package your course or your coaching program that you've worked so hard on perfecting in a way that makes people say, I would be an idiot not to buy this. That's really the goal here. And I am not talking about any kind of product. I'm talking about creating a heartbeat product. And this is what I really don't see any other coaches talking about in this space. And it's the missing piece for so many people. Now, the heartbeat of your business is what keeps it alive and thriving. Just like us as humans, if your business doesn't have a heartbeat, it's going to die. Sounds really morbid, right? But I'm just going to explain that a little more. So just humor me for a second. I'm going to put my science hat on, and I'm going to do a little anatomy class. But just a little heads up, I did get a D in GCSE, so this is going to be basic at best. We really are not, getting deep in anatomy here, but I think this explains it quite well. So our heart in our body sends blood and oxygen and nutrients to all the vital organs of our body, like our brain, our lungs, even the very tips of our toes, so that they don't turn black and fall off. And this constant flow of blood is what keeps us alive, right? I told you this is going to be really basic. That's actually about as scientific as it gets. So we need that blood. And just as I want you to think of the blood in your body like the revenue in your business. And just like the vital organs of your body, you also have vital organs of your business. So you've got things like your wages. That's a huge part of it. You need to get paid. Your website, paid ads if you're using them, marketing. Perhaps you've got a social media manager or a video editor or something. Perhaps you have a VA, your own education. So courses and programs and memberships that you need to be a part of in order to grow, childcare so that you can actually have the time to work, all of those different things. And of course, the million different tech subscriptions that you need, like Kajabi, ActiveCampaign, Zapier, all of those things. So there is a lot to pay out for, right? All of these things need money. So what happens is, and this is what I see so often, the majority of the coaches who start out in this space, they start to learn about creating digital products. And they think that the more they have to sell, the more money they will make. So they whip out a $17 ebook. They then whip up a $97 mini course. They have their one-to-one coaching offers. They have a group coaching program. But what happens is when you've got these dribs and drabs of income coming in from all these kind of random products that really aren't linked, and you've kind of got these random promotional campaigns going, it means that your revenue starts to look something like this. So you have a big spike of income in January because you've just done this big promotion and it's new year, new me, and you're mega motivated. Then nothing really happens for February and March. And then you decide that you're going to launch your group coaching program in April. So it gives another little spike, and so on and so on. You can kind of see here, there's no real rhyme and reason to where that revenue is coming in. It's kind of all over the place, right? So imagine what would happen if this was like your body. This was happening in your body. Your brain gets a good boost of blood flow in January, and then there's not really enough left for the other organs. So you just wait it out a little bit until you get some more, and then you give your lungs a little bit of a boost, and so you got a little bit more. And it's just not going to work. It really is not. I'm sad to say that by this point, your tippy toes have well and truly turned black and fallen off. This is not a good time. This is not a good way to live. So there is no wonder that you feel like this. Your business feels like this. Let me know in the chat if you can relate to Barbie right now. There is just not enough revenue being pumped through your business every single day in order to keep it alive, and you are flagging. So the heartbeat of your heartbeat product is the single product that is pumping your business and keeping it moving. And there's 3 things that it needs in order to be a true heartbeat product. First of all, it has to be consistent. Meaning people are able to go through your training on a revolving basis, and there aren't kind of like stop or start times where people can join and then they can not. Secondly, it has to be scalable, which means that you are able to deliver the same level of training if you have 5 clients as to if you have 500 clients. So this is why if you have a one-to-one offer, Even though right now this might be the thing that brings in the most amount of consistent revenue for you, this is actually not a good heartbeat offer because it's not scalable. So it means that you can only take on so many clients at one time, and so your income is capped. And of course, this offer is fully reliant on you being there as well. So a one-to-one offer is not going to be a good heartbeat product. And thirdly, and lastly, it needs to be a high revenue generator. So a low ticket offer, something like $197, isn't necessarily going to be a great heartbeat offer, even if it is currently your highest paying product, because you're going to need a lot of those people to come in and hit that good level of income. The only time I would say that a low ticket offer could work as a heartbeat offer is if it's kind of like a subscription or a membership where you are building that recurring revenue each month. So it's low ticket, but it's going to be building into a high revenue each month. So if you're sitting here and thinking, oh God, I've got a product already, or I haven't got a product, what could I do for my heartbeat offer? I'm going to help you out. If you already have a medium to a high value offer that's working, my advice is to scrap the rest, get tunnel vision on that and double down on that offer. Go all the way with scaling that offer and then think about where you can place the other ones around it. If you don't have an offer yet, you haven't created a course yet, and you're just getting started in this space, then I would 100% recommend starting with a scalable high ticket offer, which is something of around about $2,000 or above. And if you're sitting here and thinking, I could not charge $2,000 for my product, there is no one that would buy that. I promise you, it is not about you. If you have genuinely got something valuable to share, then people will pay that price as long as it is packaged up well and it becomes an irresistible offer. So a lot of the time, it's not actually about you as to why people aren't paying that money. It's just about how you're packaging. So I see a lot of mistakes that coaches are making in this space, and I just want to let you know what they are so that you can be aware of them. The first mistake I see people make is I see a lot of people spend months creating the perfect course. They launch it first time round, it flops, and so they go straight back to the drawing board and start creating a new course. The second mistake I see people make is that they don't know how to craft a strong offer. So to try and justify the price, they're like, oh God, it's $2,000. Okay, I'm going to add in this and add in this. And what they do is they start throwing in even more one-to-one support and access to them in order to make that offer more valuable. So they will say things like, if you join today, you're going to get unlimited 24/7 access to me for 12 months because they think it's going to make that person want to buy it more. And it probably will, but eventually you just have no boundaries and you are completely overwhelmed as a coach. And I'm going to give you a little truth bomb in a minute of why this is so important. But how can we switch that around? How can I help you not make those mistakes? First of all, you want to launch your course before you record any of the modules. You're going to launch it first, get paid, and then you create it once your idea is fully validated. This means that you're not wasting time and months of your energy creating something that your audience may not even want. You always validate your idea first. You learn how to package your course into an irresistible offer that people are begging to buy. And instead of wasting months, keep changing the product, you just focus on creating that solid offer. And then also you design your dream course that prioritizes your lifestyle first while delivering a big transformation for your clients. So this means that as your business grows, as you get more and more clients, it doesn't impact on you and your time and energy, and it's actually scalable. So you don't find yourself like Dead Barbie a couple of slides ago where you're like, I'm totally exhausted. And here's the truth bomb I want to give you. You cannot make yourself the product. If access to you, your time and your energy is the most valuable part of your offer, then you are going to be trapped in your offer, in your business forever. That's when you feel like you can't go on holiday, or you couldn't possibly take a Friday off to go to the spa, or you can't look up from your laptop. That's because you've been selling yourself. Never sell yourself, sell your process. So for me, the transformation that I offer is in my course. And although I'm really hands-on with my clients, because that's how I personally really like to be, if you removed me from my program, my clients will still get the exact same transformation, because that's exactly how my course is designed. So the only way you can create freedom within your business is by making sure that you are not the core of your business. Did your mind just get blown a little bit with that? When I first realized that I'd actually sold myself, I was like, no wonder I feel like I can't take a day off. Now, the second phase of the Freedom Framework is to automate. You want to build out an automated sales machine that can be selling your heartbeat product while you sleep. And the best and most effective way of doing this is to create a high converting webinar. Now, webinars are not a new thing. They've been around for years. This is not brand new information that I'm telling you. And you might be thinking something like, I've heard webinars don't work anymore. You know, people are doing challenges, people are doing video sales letters, people are doing boot camps or selling straight from the DMs. But there is a reason why the biggest names in the industry are still using webinars, and I'm still using webinars and absolutely crushing it. And that's because they are still the most powerful marketing tool that you can possibly use. But I will admit these things. Part of that statement is true. Long webinars do not work. I've been on webinars before and I've even done them myself. And I wanted to give so much value to my clients and make my client feel like it was worth their time that we were on for like an hour and a half, and they just don't work. People's attention span is gone, and you're lucky to get 10% of people still on at the end if it's over an hour. Secondly, pretend live webinars don't work. Everyone knows you're not doing a live webinar. You don't need to pretend that you are. So, the kind of on-demand thing works really, really well now. And lastly, overly salesy webinars don't work. No one wants to come on a training and think that they're going to learn something and instead just watch a huge sales pitch for 90% of it. It's disrespectful for you and your time, and it really doesn't work. So the webinar that I'm talking about is not that kind of webinar. It needs to have these three things in order to make it a high converting webinar. First of all, it needs to be simple yet valuable. So you need to teach your entire course you don't need to teach your entire course in your webinar. You just need 3 aha moments that will leave your clients saying, I'd never thought of it like that. Or, it's going to give them this insight that allows them to have a major breakthrough. Now, most of the time, people will just remember 1 or 2 things that you said. Any more than that just gets lost and it's overwhelming. And remember, this isn't an opportunity for you to show off how much you know and try and validate how good you are as a coach. It's about giving your audience what they need in order for them to progress. Secondly, it's a short presentation. This has been tested a million different ways, but around 40 to 45 minutes is the sweet spot. Anything less than that, people don't connect. Anything more than that, people switch off. So short and sweet is all good. And lastly, no pitch. So you're going to see what this looks like in real time, because at the end of this training, I'm going to tell you about how it is to work with me in about 7 minutes, and you will not be able to buy my course. That's because I don't want just anyone jumping into my program, and you shouldn't either. So by extending that sales process, it means that I properly get to connect with you. We can see if we are a right fit to work together. And when you sell high ticket, you don't just need to take on anyone and everyone because you're trying to hit your income goals. It means you can be much more selective about who you work with. And 9 times out of 10, the reason that you're not enjoying your coaching business is because of your clients. Have you ever had a client on your calendar and you think, oh, God, I just don't want to work with that person? But this means that you can be super selective and really pick your dream clients to work with you. So there is no pitch on here. I'm not just trying to get everyone to jump in and buy. So when it comes to consistently selling your course, here are some mistakes that I see people making a lot. So many people, I've spoken about this before, but many people get stuck in the cycle of live launching because they've heard that it converts better. And it's just exhausting, and it brings that feast or famine, roller coaster lifestyle, like I said. But it also means that you lose so many clients each month, because if you don't have a way for someone to join your program or buy your services when the time is right for them, they are just going to go elsewhere. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, Carly's launching again in 2 months. I'll wait. I'll put my goals on hold until I can join her program. They're just going to find someone else that can help them because they've got that moment of inspiration. So you're going to lose your clients. And then secondly, what happens then is they say, okay, cool. Well, I need to make it available all the time. I'm going to throw my course up on the website, wait for people to buy it. I'll do a couple of social media posts, and then the people will just come. And then the people don't come. And that's because that is not evergreen. It does not work like that. And unless you are specifically driving traffic to that funnel, people are not just going to go on and buy it. But then possibly the most heartbreaking part of it is that they end up throwing 90% of their leads in the bin every single time they live launch. So let me just explain this to you in a second. So this very simply is what your funnel will look like. You have leads coming in to watch your webinar. And at the end of it, they will either buy your course or they won't. So let's say 200 people watch your webinar. You have a 10% conversion rate, which means 20 of those people buy your course and you have 20 new students. Lovely, nice and simple. So that's because you have two types of buyers. You have hyperactive buyers who will buy straight away without thinking. They're like, yes, I want it, I'm in. And then secondly, you have considerate buyers. I'm a hyperactive buyer, by the way. I literally do not think twice about things, much to my partner's dismay. But the second people, the considerate buyers, they just need a little bit longer to think about things. Now, what happens to those 180 people that didn't buy straight away? They just go in the bin because you have no real system in place to keep them engaged and keep them nurtured. So instead, they are forgotten about while you focus on finding new people and new leads all the time. So how do we stop that? You create an automated circuit via email that turns the not right nows into yeses within 30 to 90 days. You are literally throwing away thousands of dollars every single month by not having something like this in place. Does that make total sense? You know, if you can keep bringing these people around, coming back to your webinar, going through your sales system again, another 20% or so of those are going to convert and you're going to make those sales again. It just makes total sense. Now, there is one more thing that you must have, and that is a consistent flow of new leads. We need to have people coming in and, you know, and always coming through this machine. So this system is so powerful, but it means nothing if you haven't got new people coming into it every single day. So this is where we get to step 3 and the final part of our freedom framework, which is to amplify. So once you've got your automated sales machine perfectly built out, your whole focus should then be to feed that machine. Essentially, you want to consistently drive traffic to the top of your funnel, which is to register for your free webinar. And this means promoting it on all of your social media channels like Instagram, IG, Facebook, YouTube, all of those things, your podcast, if you have one, consistent email marketing, and low budget ads. Now, I know that when I just said those things, you had one of two thoughts. You either thought, oh my God, I hate the idea of posting on social media all the time. That does not sound fun at all. I get that. Or you said, oh my God, I have no idea about paid ads. That freaks me out. I don't want to lose loads of money. I don't think I'm ready for that. You thought one of those two things, I'm sure of it, because people are usually in one camp or the other. There's kind of this constant battle between whether you should use organic traffic or paid traffic, and it's always this kind of either or argument. But honestly, I found that using both organic and paid traffic is a perfect recipe for success. So let's look at this a little bit closer. Relying solely on organic traffic is not a good strategy because you have to create so much content every single day in order to get traction. It's going to take you months, if not years, to really see those results. You are at the mercy of the algorithm. So loads of the stuff that you create is not even going to get seen and you will waste loads of hours. You will risk your number one asset, which is your time. And mainly, if you are impatient like me, it is going to be excruciatingly painful to put in so much effort and progress so slowly. No one wants that. And then, of course, but I do want to say, however, there is nothing more powerful than a podcast episode or a YouTube video or even a behind the scenes reels to help your ideal clients know, like, and trust you, because ultimately that is half the battle when it comes to these sales. Now, when I talk about posting organic content, I don't mean posting mass amounts on all platforms 5 times a day. I've done that. It's exhausting. I nearly died. But I actually mean occasional high quality posts that are perfectly curated to sell. That's what I'm talking about. So then there's the paid traffic, like YouTube ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, it's too risky. I don't want to spend my money on ads. It feels like I'm gambling. I've been burned with ads before. I have a friend who lost loads of money with ads. And honestly, I felt the exact same for years. Ads really freaked me out. I'd only ever lost money with them and I vowed I would only do organic traffic moving forward. But here's the thing. When I look back now, I can see so clearly what happened. It's not that the ads didn't work. They did. They worked amazingly well, but my system was broken. So they didn't result in sales. It was my machine that was broken. So if you're missing just one piece of this framework, then your machine is broken. Now, let's just look at really quickly at what happens when you combine these two methods. This is where I start to get really excited. So say, for example, you start with really low budget ads like $10 a day, or around about $300 per month. I actually teach you how to do this in a way that you actually don't even touch your own savings, which is pretty cool. And you choose the ad platform that is best suited to your ideal client. So it could be IG, could be Facebook. And those ads result in 100 of your ideal client watching your webinar. Now, because it is a high converting webinar, a good percentage of those are going to choose to book a call to talk about working with you. Now, we can look at an average of 10% for this exercise, which is industry standard. So 10 people decide that they want to book on a call. Now, of course, what happens is when you're going through this process, you always go to their social media and you binge through all their stuff, and you stalk them a little bit, and you're like, do I like them? Do I trust them? Is this good? I definitely do that. I go through all of their stuff. So during this time, they are binging all of your content on social media, which then massively speeds up the process of your audience feeling confident enough to join you. So then after their call, on average, 20 to 40% of people then decide that they are going to join your program. So let's say if your course is $2,500, you only need to make 2 sales from those 100 leads to make $5,000 and get a 10x return on your ad spend, which means that you have turned $300 into 5K. How cool is that? But the coolest part is that this whole process happens over the course of about 24 to 72 hours, meaning that you can turn strangers on the internet into paying clients almost as soon as they find out about you. And then your other leads that don't decide to join straight away are going to be nurtured through your organic marketing system until they are ready to buy. It's just this whole beautiful clockwork system, and this is a machine. This is no longer just a scrappy plan of try everything, see what works. It is a data-driven, systematic sales machine. And once you work out your conversion rates and your number of people that you need to hit your desired monthly goal, then you can decide to spend on ads according to that data. And it really is a case of how big you want to scale it. Does that not excite you so much? When I see that, I'm like, oh, it just makes sense. There's an actual system. So you can see that when you have a machine like this, 20K a month becomes surprisingly easy, right? Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, that's easy for you to say, Carly, I've been trying for months, if not years, to hit that even 10K a month, and it's just not that easy. And believe me, I fully get it. It took me so long to hit 10K months. And the first time I did, I literally felt like I needed a month off because I was so exhausted. I'd sold my soul in order to hit that 10K month. And that's because my business looks like this. My revenue was directly related to how hard I worked, and it was just all up and down all the time. But here's the real truth. If you don't have a way of bringing in consistent sales every single day, you don't have a business, you are playing the lottery. I'm just going to let that land for a second. That might have hit home a little bit, but it's such an important message to get across. So let's look at what this looks like in your life when you actually implement that framework. So say your course is 5K and your machine is bringing in 4 sales a month. That's like 1 sale a week, right? Which is more than doable when you have a machine like this. There's your 20K. There is your 20K a month. That's 240K a year. That's not too shabby, right? That's with 1 sale a week. Then let's say you decide that you really want to do a live launch. You want to layer on 2 live launches just because you like them. You can see right now, I like a live masterclass, so I like to sprinkle them on every now and again. Now, you don't have to do this, but as I said, I quite like them. But now, because you have a huge pool of people who have already been through your webinar, they may not have joined yet, but they are so much more likely to buy the second time around as they are so much more warmed up. So your live launches convert way higher than ever. And this is what I like to call a hybrid launch strategy. You can see that with one course, one funnel, it's simple. You can bring in 360K a year. This is not some complicated whole mass of business. It's super, super simple. So this is the most exciting thing about this strategy, and it's why it's called the Freedom Framework. Look at all that free time. Now, I'm not saying that you are doing nothing. Of course, there's little bits of admin to do during these times, but because it's fully automated, it's running like clockwork. So that means you get the whole summer off to enjoy with your kids. That's the whole of your Christmas and New Year to fully wind down and spend time with your family without feeling guilty about not working. Or maybe it's a solo trip on your own without kids every January to New York to revive your soul. This is what I did, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. I really recommend it. So can you begin to imagine what this would look like in your life? Suddenly, your calendar goes from this jam-packed to looking like this. This is my actual calendar. On Fridays, I have my spa day, I have my group coaching calls, and the whole weekend is, for my family. Now, look, with everyone's version of freedom is very different, but with the freedom framework, the strategies and the support, you're going to find the perfect fit that works for you and your lifestyle. So I want to invite you to find your perfect fit. I've shown you now that this vehicle exists, that actually hitting those 20K months is way simpler and way easier than people are making it. And I really hope that I've helped you see that I'd see your business completely differently and realize that it is possible for you to work less and earn more than ever before. But just knowing this information and doing nothing with it is not going to work. So right now you have two options. You have two routes that you can go from here. And perhaps you've been faced with a crossroads like this before, and you're used to always taking the same route, which has led you back here again. So that route probably looks something like this. You've got option one. Option one is you can take what you've learned today and you can go off and you can try and implement it yourself. I took this route many, 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 many times, and here's the truth. This route is so long. It's lonely trying to figure it out for yourself and having to, no one to bounce ideas off of. And it's so slow, way slower than I wanted it to go. And it's also so expensive. Not only in the 6 to 12 months that you're missing out on earning those 20K paychecks, but because you're still researching and testing. So you have to buy so many mini courses to try and piece together this whole thing. And honestly, it's exhausting. And I want to let you know that there are 250 people registered for this program. And if we look back at those conversions that I just spoke about, that means that 25 of you are going to choose not to take this route, but 225 of you are going to carry on doing this, even though the reason you're here right now is probably because you've been choosing option one before and it's not working. So I want to let you know about option two. 25 of you are going to take this option. I like these 25 people. So option two is where you can be guided through every single step of the way. Option two is so much easier because you're just following a proven roadmap and getting feedback at every single step. It's way less expensive and it's just one investment. And then it's learning every single month. It's earning every single month from then on. It's 10 times faster because you get to miss out all of that trial and error, those crying at night because the thing that you thought was going to work hasn't worked again. And you're just fully supported the whole way. And honestly, making those big moves that you know you need to make are so much less scary when you know you've got a supported team behind you. It makes such a difference. So I want to know, who are the 25 people out of this group that are going to be courageous enough to be like, option one isn't working anymore, I'm going to go for option two. So the Made for More Accelerator, this is my program, which I'm so proud of, is so different from anything else out there because it genuinely teaches this entire process from start to finish. I don't leave anything out in order to sell you a program later on. This is a super unique container where you're going to learn how to create your heartbeat offer, how to create a high converting webinar, how to build an automated sales machine, how to package an irresistible offer, how to attract high paying clients on autopilot, and how to amplify your presence online and truly, truly stand out. So I want to do something for you. I'm going to invite you to a completely free accelerator call with myself or one of my team. And this is possibly going to be the most valuable call you can ever take. So I'm just going to pop here. If you look in the chat, you can actually see that the way that you can book your call. Now, this is not a kind of skim the surface call. This is where you're going to find out what's working in your business, what's not working in your business, how we can fix it, and actually give you a plan of action to reach your income goals. And I want to be really, really clear about this. This is not one of those calls where you're going to get pressured into joining and you can't get off the phone until you hand over your credit card. I've been on so many of those calls myself and they feel horrible, which is why I do things very, very differently. In fact, even if you get on that call and you are waving your credit card at me and you are begging to join, you still won't be able to on that call. And that is because I'm super, super selective about who I work with. I work directly with my clients. I don't have other coaches that are going to stand in for me. This is me. So what will happen is we'll have our call. I will go away. I'll go through my notes. I will talk to my team and make sure that this program genuinely is the perfect fit for you. I'm not trying to sell you a program that's not right for you because that is terrible for me. So what will happen then is we'll both go away. I will come back, and if you are the perfect fit, I will invite you to join you and give you a place in the program. But either way, we'll both get a chance to go away, have a think about it before joining. So if this is the right fit for you, then maybe you can be on here. On my slide here is one of the next success stories. All of these people started out in the exact same position as you. They joined a webinar, learned about a different way of doing things, had a call with us to talk through how it can work for them, and then they were invited in to join the program. So I want to be super honest about who this program is for and who this call is for. And I want to make that really clear. This is only for people who are super serious about going all the way with their coaching business and building a lifestyle. It's not for you if you're just kind of dabbling around and, dipping your toe in and thinking, oh, I'll see how it goes. This program won't be right for you. But this is for you. This is perfect for coaches and consultants who want to sell their skills for a high ticket value. This is perfect for course creators who want to get their course in the hands of more people. If you are passionate about helping your industry and you want to have a huge impact on more people at once, this is perfect for you. And if you understand that it takes investment to up-level your skills to get to that next level in business, then this is going to be perfect for you. So if you are over working your ass off, not seeing results, wondering if it is ever going to happen for you, then taking this call is literally the most important thing you can do right now. You've got absolutely nothing to lose and potentially your whole free life to gain. So all you need to do is click the button on the screen. It's probably down below or in the chat or in the right somewhere. And it's going to give you a form to fill out, which will help us get to know you and your business more and help you get clarity on what it is that you want to create. And then once that form is submitted, you're going to go to another page where you can book your time slot in the next few days. And we take these calls really, really seriously. So this is not just a free coaching call. We really want to work with those people who are super, super serious about doing the work. So if that is you, definitely click that, get yourself booked onto a call. I've opened up my calendar this week so we can get as many calls booked in as possible. Now, I did promise that if you do stay on, you can get access to my recurring revenue blueprint. So I'm just going to share that link with you there. You can also see that in the same place. And it's amazing. Get your hands on it. So lastly, I just want to say that if this particular program is not for you, I know it's not for everyone, but that doesn't mean that I don't still want to help you. So if it's not for you, I still recommend that you listen to my podcast. I've got so many trainings on there. I've interviewed people like Jen Gottlieb, Mo Gaudat, Marie Forleo, Jasmine Starr, and it's amazing. It's a really, really good podcast. So I really recommend that you do it. So that is it for my training. I'm about to jump into the Q&A and ask any questions that you've got, but I just want to let you know that it is time. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect time to take action. If you are still here, you're here for a reason. And it's time to listen to that little voice in your gut that is telling you to go for it. Because honestly, the voice in your gut and that voice in there is usually right. Whatever your gut is telling you is usually right. But I'm excited to chat to you. I'm really, really excited to dive into your business. I love getting deep in there and figuring out what we can do and mapping out a simpler way of doing this, because it does not need to be as complicated as you make it. And honestly, when you get these pieces in place, you're like, oh, it was this simple all along. How did I not know this? So yeah, it really is such a game changer. If you have any questions pop up after the day, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram's at Carly Myers Life. Feel free to send me a DM on there. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much, my loves. I will see you very, very soon. And hopefully I'll see lots of you on calls this week. Yeah, I can't wait. Bye.